Okay, so before going to development, so we'll see few more things and then we'll go for development. So what all things we need to know? First, we'll go to design center where I have created all the ramals, and we'll see basic like how we can, after creation of ramal, how we will publish on exchange. Okay, once we will publish on exchange, then we'll give URL to business holder like stakeholder or BA people, and then they will verify our ramal is as per their requirement or not. Okay, so how we can do that? Click on this, means click on any ramal file whatever you have created. Once you will get ramal file, you can see here we have publish option here. Okay, click on this publish option, and you can see here publish to exchange. Okay, select this option. Okay, then it will ask asset version, API version. Okay, so you can start with 1.0.0, and this one you can start with v1. Okay, cannot publish with error in the root file. Okay, so in our ramal file we have some error. Okay, but I can't see any error in, actually once there will be error you can see here only, but I can't see. Let me test it from here. Okay, we are getting project error. What is error? Text E. So inside this root business library ramal 5.1. okay, so we have one extra text here. Okay, so if there will be any error, then you will not able to publish on exchange. Okay, now we resolve the error, then we'll try to publish it again. Publish. Okay, again we'll write version 1.0.0 and this API version as a v1, and now we are getting this publish option. Okay, previously we are not getting. Why? We had some error in our ramal file. Click on. Okay, so it will take few seconds, maybe 30 seconds or 40 seconds based on your internet bandwidth. Okay, now you can see here successfully published to exchange. Okay, now we can go to exchange, so I will go in next window. Okay, so here you can see our ramal is published in exchange. Okay, and here you can do lots of things. We will not focus on that, like you can write some description and all. Okay, so you can do lots of things here. Okay, but once you will publish, you have here share option. Okay, so after publish, either you can share with within your organization or you can make it public. Okay, so if you want to share with limited user, you will use this shared option. Okay, and you will add all the user and you will click on save, so all user will get access to see this ramal on exchange. And if you will select this public option, then anyone can see this ramal file. Okay, so I'm not going to share with anyone right now. Okay, so till this point we have published this. So if you go to exchange, here you can see we have this ramal file here. Same way, what we will do, we will publish all the ramal on exchange. So for now we published this XP API, mobile app XP API. So this one is web app XP API. Again open this ramal file. Go select this publish option, publish to exchange. Again version will start from 1.0.0, v1. Okay, now we'll go to third ramal.
Ravi, start the recording.
Yeah, already started.
Okay.
So this one is third ramal. Go select publish option. Again we need to provide version, API version and asset version, and click on this publish to exchange option. Okay, so if I refresh this exchange page, till this point we have two, third one is in progress. So now we can see we have three ramal file here. Okay, and you can see here one thing. Here you can see NA provided by Mulesoft. This one is my exchange. Okay, exchange created for me, for my organization, and provided by Mulesoft. Okay, so if you go to here, then you can see here you will get many projects connected, many things you will get. So exchange is nothing but it's a central repository. Okay, so in central repository you can get different kind of things like connectors, you can get templates, you can get examples, you can get policies, you can get REST API, you can get. Okay, so for learning purpose also you can go here and you can download these examples, you can download this REST API, and you can see how they have implemented. Okay, and you will get lots of connector in and Anypoint Studio. We have limited connector like 20-30, but when we want to add new, like more connector, if you remember, like we used to connect with exchange, and from exchange we take any connector what we need. Okay, so you can go to any connector and you can see details about that connector. Okay, so till this point we done with third ramal. We have two more ramal. So fourth ramal. Okay, and click on publish option, publish to exchange. Again it will ask for API version and app version, asset version. Asset version will be 1.0.0 and API version v1. Click on publish. Okay, done. And we have last one. Click on publish, publish to exchange. One point 0.0, and this one will be v1. Okay, click on done. So now if you go to exchange and go to my exchange, so you can see we have published all the ramal file here. Okay, so similar way you can also publish, and here you can see you will get all the detail about that ramel. Okay, if you want to mock this, then you can mock this, and we have much more option here. Okay, and if you want to share with anyone, you can select this share option. Okay, fine. So now one more thing I want to show here. So as I told, we can import whatever ramel I have shared. So you can import, so where you can import this create new option, you will select, and then import from file, you will select this option. Okay, project name you can give any, and then you will choose that file. So what we have already downloaded yesterday, so you will choose this file and you will click on open. Okay, then you will able to import all the ramel file what I have provided. Okay, fine. Now we will go to development part. Okay, so we'll see how to start our development. We have already downloaded all the ramel. In one ramel we have error, so okay, fine. Anyhow, today we don't need any ramel, since we will complete first external system, and then we'll go for our this API, this 5 API. Okay, if you have remember, like first we will work on external system. Let me open that document also. Okay, so desktop. Since for this experience API, process API, system API, we need these two external system. So in actual project, when you will work for any actual project, they means third party, whoever created this API or whatever service is there, it can be database or anything, they will give you detail, and just you need to connect with your system API. But in our case we don't have this existing system. So what we will do, we will develop this existing system, means this external system also. So for this we will not follow ML and all, we will just create two mule application which will perform similar functionality of this external system. Okay, and then for this we have already created ramel, then we'll do development of system API, then process API, and then experience API. Okay, so today we will start working on development of these two external system. Okay, so before that, what we will do, we will understand about our central repository. Okay, that is Git server. Since we will develop our code, so if you work in any organization, whatever code you will develop, you will keep on some central repository, so everyone will have access of your code. Okay, maybe sometime you are working on one code, and after a few days someone else will work on that code. So from where they will get, so they will take that latest code from central repository. So we'll see first how to create account on Git server, then how to create branch on Git server, and then how to connect our mule application with that Git server. So everything we'll see step by step. Okay, so let me go to browser. So first what you will do, you will start this, you will open this github.com. so I already logged in, so first I will do logout. So first you will go to github.com, click on this sign up option. Okay, and then you have to create one Git account. So here you will provide user ID, and then you will create email ID, and then you will create password. Okay, so if you want, you can check, uncheck, whatever you want. Then you need to verify. Okay, and then you will select this create option. and if you want you can save credential. Okay, then after that, what kind of work do you want to maintain? Don't select any option, just click on complete setup. Then it will ask for email verification. Okay, if you go to your email ID, then you will receive one email from Git. Okay, so let's wait for that, or I will not wait for that since I have already account. I just explain process for you. So once you will do this, then you will receive one email. Okay, just click on that link and your account will be verified. Okay, so once your account will be verified, you can use that user ID and password to do login. Okay, it's similar to what other means on other platform what we do. Similar way you have to create account. Okay, then use your email ID and password. Okay, so I have created this account, and this one is also very blank account. I haven't did till this point, I haven't done anything. Okay, so we'll do all these steps here. So what all steps we need? Okay, before this we need to install two more things. One is git bash. Okay, so go to git bash. Okay, so whatever operating system you are using, based on your operating system, select download option and download and install this git bash. Okay, it's also very similar to what other software you install now, like you have to follow same way. Okay, but for Mac, actually I am using Mac, so for Mac it's a bit different. So first you need to install this homebrew, and then you need to use this command to install this git bash. For other operating system I am not sure, let me see. So they will mention all these steps, so you just need to download it and you need to install it. Okay, for other operating system I think it's very similar, yeah, simple. Okay, so if anyone using Mac, then you will go to this and you will follow this instruction. Download this, install this, and then run this command. Okay, so till this point we have created account in GitHub and we have downloaded git bash. Okay, so if you are using any other operating system like Windows, then what you can see, if you will go to any folder, when you will do right click, you will able to see here git bash option. Okay, but in Mac I can't see that option. Okay, so copy git repo now. Okay, so in Windows operating system you will able to see here git bash option. Once you will click on that, one command prompt will come up, one window will come up for command prompt. Okay, so it's a very simple. But in Mac OS, what we need to do, we need to start terminal. I need to reach at this particular location, so I will go to this particular location. Okay, okay, so I am inside Mulesoft folder. Let me see. Okay, I need to go inside real-time project. I hope it's visible to everyone. Then I will go inside Mulesoft folder, sorry, real-time project folder. Okay, let me type this actually. So here real-time project. Okay, so here we'll go to, let me create one folder here for our Git repository. So I will delete this first. I have created this one before, so to avoid any kind of problem, let me move to trash and let me create new folder, Git repo. I'm giving name as okay. So I have created this folder. So till this point I am inside real-time project. I will go to that location. Okay, so I'm inside this folder. Okay, so what I need to do till this point, I am inside this folder, and before that, before going to do any further activity, so first I will check my Git server is installed or not, and my Git bash is installed or not. Okay, so what all step we need to follow for that? So to check Git, click type this Git and version. Okay, so you can see Git version, I can see means Git server is already installed in my system. Okay, so then second thing, I will check this do what I install for Git bash minus. Okay, so for brew also I can see this is installed inside my system. Okay, so after installation of Git bash, you will also type these two command. Okay, I will collect all this command and I will pass. For you don't need this one, so for me it's required for Mac OS, but for you will check just Git version after installing Git bash. Fine. Now I will go to this folder location. Okay, we are at this location only. I will go inside this. Okay, and then I will go to Git server. Here first what I will do, as I told, Git server provide us central repository where we can maintain our code. Okay, like and that repository can be accessed by one person or multiple person. So in a real-time project, there will be many team members will work. Anyone saying anything? Many team members will work on one project, so everyone need their project to be shared. So for that we will use Git server or Bitbucket, or we have other SVN also. Okay, so first we'll create Git repository. Okay, after creation of Git account and after downloading this Git bash, third step we will create this repository. Okay, so we can give any name. So I am giving this real-time project. Okay, so after that you can make it public or private. So I will make it private and I will share with all of you guys, and then initialize this repository with. So in this repository I want to keep this readme file. Okay, so we have git ignore and choose license option. So git ignore will use later on, I will show you, but for now I'm not checking this. So git ignore generally to ignore few kind of file. So if whatever configuration, whatever file name we will provide here, so whenever we will do commit, we will commit our code, that file will be ignored. Okay, and then here you can see this will set main as a default branch. Okay, let me see what option they are giving in setting. So you can create default branch as a main, means your default branch name will be main. So based on project they use different name. Okay, so some project use develop branch, master branch. Master branch means that code that branch contains production code. Develop branch, it contains SIT, SIT code, whatever code you want to put on SIT, you will do all coding on develop branch, and then once it will be moved to production or pre-prod, you will move that code to master branch. Okay, so instead of main, I will follow same name, master. Okay, and click on update. So if I go here, so I think it should be master only once I will create. So let me create this repository. Okay, so you can see here master branch, and if you click on this, you can see here find or create a branch. So here you can create multiple. This one is our default branch, but you can create multiple branch. So I will create one more branch, that will be develop. Okay, click on enter. Okay, so now you can see we have master branch and develop branch. Okay, so currently I am inside this develop branch, or if you want to change, you can go to master branch, and we can move code from develop to master or master to develop. Okay, so for that we have some steps, I will show you later on. Okay, now what I will do, I will go to develop branch, and here you can see we have one option, code option. Okay, so now I want to sync my code with this Git server. So for that we have two options. Either you can select this HTTP SSH or GitHub CLI, or you can use GitHub Desktop. GitHub Desktop is very user friendly, but here you have to use all the commands and all. So initial for 1-2 small project, 1-2 application, we will use this option. So you should have idea of this also, and then later on we will move to GitHub Desktop. GitHub Desktop will provide you user interface, so you can do or manage everything very easily. But using this command, this one is also good option, but you have to remember all the commands and all. But here you just need to remember all these steps. But first we'll go with this option. So what you will do, you will copy this command, okay, and go to your terminal. In your case, you will go to command prompt. Okay, paste this and click enter. Okay, so what it's saying, no such file or directory. Okay, let me see once. For this actually I missed one command. Actually for this we need to write git clone. So where is, I have collected all the commands. So first we will type git clone, and then we will provide URL. Okay, so git clone, and then we have to provide that URL. Okay, see what it's saying, cloning into real-time project March. Okay, enumeration object 3 done, counting object 100% done total. So now our application, our this folder is cloned with our Git server. So you can see in Git server we have readme file. Now I can see in this folder also, inside this folder we have this readme file, what we have inside Git server. Okay, this readme file, and parallelly means now we can pass code from here to Git server, sorry, in that folder, or that folder to Git server. Okay, so we can move code from either way, either from this repository to our Git folder what we have created, or from that folder to this Git server. Okay, so we can move code in both the way. Okay, fine. So till this point we are done with, we are synced with our Git repository to this folder. Okay, and one more thing you have to remember, either you can create all the Mule application inside one repository, or you can create multiple repository, means one repository for each project. Okay, so we have, based on like your project requirement, you have to do that. Sometime you will create all the application in a single repo or repository, or many time you will create single repository for all the project. But here we will create single repository for all the project. Fine. So now we have created one folder and which is synced with our Git repository. Now what I will do, I will create one mule application inside this folder. So how we will do that? Go to this AnyPoint Studio. So what I will do, I will create one new workspace. So everyone need to create new workspace. Okay, and click on okay. So problem occurred while trying to save the state of okay, fine. Okay, so now we have empty workspace. Okay, so what we will do, we will create our first project here, first mule application. So either you can select this option or you can do right click. Okay, here we will provide our application name. So what application name we will give? So we'll sorry so first we will create this travel on tip booking system. Okay, so this one we will create. So we'll give same application name, travel on tip external system. Okay, now as I told, for this external system we will not create YAML, so we will directly create this application without using YAML file. And here you have to use that folder what we have created and we synced with our Git repository. Okay, so we'll select this browse option. I will go to that particular folder. So inside Git repository, this one is our folder what I have created and I synced with my Git repository. Okay, so I selected that part, and mule runtime, actually you will get this one. If you want older version, then you need to install that runtime. Okay, and click on finish. So when you will create one mule application, you will get many defaults file. Okay, so every file has their own importance, and these all are mandatory file here once you will create any mule application. Now if you go to that particular folder location, see all file getting created here also. We have POM file, mule artifact JSON, src folder, okay, and then target folder. Okay, you can see all file there also. Now what I will do, whatever file you can see here, you can see some symbol is there, means this folders has created in that means this all file has created in mule folder, in this folder, but it's not committed in our git server. Okay, so what I need to do, first we'll check our git status. So for this we have command git status, not a git repository. Okay, so we are inside git repository 2021. Let me see. So okay, fine. So if you go here, git repository 2021, inside this we have this folder. Okay, so first what we need to do, we need to reach till this location here. Okay, so after git clone, we'll go to that particular folder. So what is name? Realtime project March. Inside git repository 2021 real-time project March. Okay, so cd real time project. Okay, now I will do git, I will type git status. Okay, so you can see here we have this much of file, and to include in what we will be committed, means we have this much of file which is created but not committed on git server. Okay, so using this git status command you can check status of that particular git folder what you have created. So we have this much of file, it's till this point this file haven't committed. So if I go to this particular place, you can see in develop branch we have only readme nd file, we have only one file here. So now, and commit also you can see only we have one commit. Okay, now how we can commit? So till this point we haven't completed our application, but whatever file we have here, I want to commit all the file in my git server. So how we can commit? Again we'll go to terminal, and here also you can see in suggestion they have given git add option. Okay, so what I will do, git add star. Now here we have two things. One, git add, and after that folder name. If you want to add any one file, then you will write git add file name, and if you want to add all the file, then you will use star option. Okay, so since I want to add all the file here, so I will use this git add star. Okay, now what they are saying, the following path are ignored by one of the your git ignore file. The following path target, use -f if you really want to add them. Some file got ignored using this git ignore. Okay, which file they are saying? The following paths are ignored by one of your. Okay, fine. Okay, let me see one git status again. Okay, so here you can see all of this file change to be committed, and untracked file git ignored. Okay, so yeah, I think all time means everything processed correctly only. So now what I will do, I will do git commit. So what they are saying, please enter the commit message. Okay, fine. So before that I need to go back again, escape. So in git commit what we need to do, we need to provide commit message also. So for that we need to do git commit, then -m, and then commit message. I will say this one is our travel on tip initial commit. So I will pass this message. Okay, click enter. So what they are saying, travel on tip initial commit, and this commit on master branch. Okay, fine. Actually I want to change, I want to do commit on develop branch, so I need to change that branch. Okay, but so for that we have command git checkout, means we have to change our branch using this command, but I committed in master branch. Okay, fine. So we can change from master to develop branch using different way, so I will show you now. So every code we have inside master branch. So till this point if you go here, still you can see we don't have. So in develop branch again we'll go to master branch, still you can't see any code here, like whatever code you have committed here you can't see. So what you need to do, for that we have one command git push. Okay, now what it will do, it will push all the file from your local git server. Okay, so this one is our local, from local folder location git location to server git location. Okay, now if I go here and if I refresh this page, so you can see we have all the file here. So we have pom xml, artifact json, readme file, and then we have src in src folder. Inside src we have main test resource. So you can see everything here. So we have src main mule, src main resource, whatever folders need to be checked in, all folder you can see here in this real-time project. Okay, so we have created this real-time project repository, and we checked in our code from local git folder to our git server. Okay, so now in future whenever we will do any change in our code, we will keep committing our code in git server. Okay, same thing we do in our project also. We don't do very frequently, but whenever we achieve any milestone, like whenever we complete any functionality and we do testing in local, everything we find perfect, then we used to do git commit and all. Okay, so actually using this git bash, it can be a bit difficult, but yeah, commands are not very difficult, so you can remember and you can use this command. But later on I will show you this git desktop, that is very easy, and it's similar to like means it will give you user, like similar to Windows OS, what Windows OS do. It provides us user interface where you can go and select and click everything you can do like this. So similar way you can use git desktop. Okay, now so now we have created our git repository, we are synced with our local git server git folder. Okay, now we'll do development of our project. Once we will complete development, we will do local testing, and then we will commit entire code on our git server. Okay, same steps we follow in our company also. Okay, now step by step we'll do everything. So what this API will do, if I go to document, so this API okay, so this API will take data from database, and it will, so whoever will call this API, so they will pass data. So what kind of data they will pass? They will pass route detail and schedule details. Okay, generally this API will give routes and schedule detail. Okay, so what I will do, I will use one HTTP listener. Okay, 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 fine. So before this, actually we need to do lots of setup also. Okay, Okay, now if we started with this, let me complete this and then I will show you. Till this point we have seen what all best practice we will follow in our YAML file, but I haven't explained what we need to follow in our project. So in project also we have to follow best practice, otherwise it will be very difficult. In later on it will be very difficult to manage your project. Okay, if someone want to review or someone want to do code change, then it will be very difficult for them to understand your code. Okay, so for that purpose we will do lots of thing here. Okay, better let me delete this. First we'll do and then we'll go ahead. Okay, first thing what we will do here inside mule src main mule, we will create multiple folder. First folder will create for global files. Okay, we'll keep name as a global, and then we'll create another folder that will be implementation. Okay, so we'll create two folder, one will be global, another one will be implementation. In this project, this one is external API, we are not following all the best practice, like we are not using YAML and all, so you will not have 100% clear picture here, but still you will have good understanding what is the why we are creating separate folder and what all we are going to do. Okay, so you start your you will start learning from here only, but when we will start creation of system API, then you will have 100% clear idea why we create this. Okay, so now what I will do, whatever implementation, like whatever business logic we are writing, that file we will keep here inside implementation folder, and whatever common things we have we will keep inside global folder. Okay, so this file where we will have listener will be common for root also and schedule also, so this file I will keep inside this global folder. So I moved inside global folder. Okay, and inside implementation we will create two mule application file. Okay, so first mule configuration file, one will be travel on tip, implementation.xml, oh it went outside, so just drag and drop it here, and I will create one more. Okay, let me copy this name, and okay, if you want to change name of this file, so what you will do, you will select this refactor option and you go to rename, and you can change name and you can click on OK. I don't want to change, I just want to copy this name, so I follow this option. What I will do, I will create new mule configuration file. So this mule configuration file is nothing but where we do our development, where we configure all the mule components. So that one is our mule configuration file. Till this point we are creating one flow in one application, that's why we haven't created multiple mule configuration file. But now we'll do lots of functionality in same application, so we'll create separate file. So this one will be for get schedules. Okay, now see here, physically these three files, trans travel on tip, external system.xml, this travel on tip get route implementation, travel on tip get schedule implementation. Physically these three files are different file, but logically these three are same file. Okay, whatever things we have inside this we can use here directly. Whatever things we have inside here we can use directly here also. Okay, so physically these three are different file. Okay, but logically these three are same file. As I told, we are just trying to follow best practice, so in future our code management like maintenance, or yeah, mainly code maintenance will be very easy. Okay, so from here only you can see whatever common things, like we have HTTP listener from where someone will call our application. Okay, then all the connector configuration what we are going to use here, everything we will keep inside this global XML, inside this travel on tip file which is inside our global folder. All the common data we will keep here, and code means whatever development we will do for implementing get root logic, we will keep all those code inside this get root implementation XML. Whatever code development we will do to get schedule business logic, we will keep everything inside this folder. Okay, so let's start with this file. Okay, now I will go to HTTP listener since I want to expose this API. So if you see this API, we want to create this REST API. This REST API will be called by this system API. So I will create this REST API, so I will use HTTP listener. Okay, and then first we will configure this HTTP listener. So I will click on this plus symbol, localhost and port 8081 here we are using. But again, if we will provide this hard-coded value here, host and port, then in future when we will move our code from one application to another application, we need to open this file, we need to change host and port every time. Okay, so whenever we have this kind of situation, we want means we should not keep any hard-coded value. At that place we will use property file. Okay, so we'll see what is property file and how to create. Till this point we are going to use this hard-coded value. Click on OK, or if you want to test, you can test here. Okay, test connection successful. Click on OK, click on OK. Okay, now as okay, base path also we need to configure, so this one to get roots, so we don't have any error here. Now as I told, here we can't use this hard-coded value, since once our code will move from one environment to another environment, there is possibility like our host and port may change. So if we will keep hard-coded value here, then whenever we will move from one environment to another environment, we need to come inside this folder, this file we need to change it manually, and sometime it may happen we may forgot to change this file. Okay, so it will create a big problem. So to avoid this kind of problem, what we will do, let me show you. Okay, so what we will do, we will go inside this folder. Okay, create new folder and we'll give name as a config. Click on finish. Okay, so as I told, we will use property in HTTP listener, okay, instead of hard coding value. So before that we need to create property. Okay, so we have two way we can create property. Either we can create .property file or we can create .yaml file. Okay, now we can create property inside .property file also, and we can create property inside .yaml file also. We can select either way, but nowadays people prefers .yaml file property, since it has means technically if you say, we don't have lots of advantage in .yaml file, but it's easy to understand and it's easy to manage. And one other advantage we have that I will show you while creation. So I will show you what third advantage we have. So that's why we'll use that .yaml file only. So what I will do, inside config what all environment we can have in our project. For example, we will have development environment, we will have local environment. Local means where our code is running in our local Anypoint Studio. So local, then development, then production, then pre-prod, then SIT, UAT. So this kind of environment we can have. So for each environment we will create one property file. Okay, so new file. So let's start with local.yaml. Okay, local.yaml. Then same way we'll create multiple. So what all environment you will have in your project, you will create for each environment. So I will create for local, dev, then SIT, UAT, PPE, and then production. Dev, local, then SIT. Then UAT. So in a project you can have multiple environments. So before going to production, before going to production, your code will go to different environment for testing purpose. So in local means what testing we do in our local system. Then we have dev environment where we will do commit and we will test. And then SIT, generally testing team do testing there. Then UAT where user like your BA people will do testing. And then we have PPE. Okay, in PPE we do different kind of testing like performance testing, sanity testing. Okay, so PPE. And then production, PRD. Okay, so we have created all the YAML file. So let's start with this YAML, local YAML. Okay, so since for local development we are going to use this local YAML. Okay, so what I will do, first we want to configure this HTTP listener. Okay, whatever configuration detail we have for this HTTP listener, I want to keep inside property, and instead of hard coding I want to use that property value. So I will go to local YAML. Now syntax. So syntax will be HTTP. So for which connector, so means you have to create hierarchy. Okay, so for HTTP I want to use HTTP keyword, and then we have to write in key value pair. So inside HTTP we will have host, we will have port, and then we will have path. Okay, now each key will have some value. So for this I will use host will be localhost, port I will use 8081. Let's start with 8081 for this, and then for this, okay, let me start with 9081. And then path, what path I have given, let me take it from here, get root. Okay, now as I told, we have third advantage with YAML file. Okay, if you remember, I told when I will create this YAML file and then I will explain. So what third advantage we have, so whatever value we are using, means whatever value we are keeping, we are keeping inside double inverted comma. Okay, so if we will use any extra space, we will come to know we have some extra space, but in case of dot property file, we will not come to know we by mistake we kept any extra space or anything. Or if you will use only value and you will not use that space, then it will not take exact value, means it will take space also if you by mistake you keep a space in property file, even in YAML file. But in YAML file you will come to know, since you are keeping everything inside double inverted comma, so here you will come to know we have space or not. Okay, so you can avoid that kind of problem using this YAML file. Okay, fine. So now we have created HTTP. Okay, HTTP, this one is listener, so I need to create one more hierarchy. So this HTTP for detail for HTTP listener. Okay,
Hello, Raghu.
yes, anyone has any doubt?
Remaining.
Hello.
Hi guys,
Chapra. Yeah.
are you from?
Hey, Mani.
Yeah, what
Mani, do you
happened?
know Telugu?
Yes.
What happened?
I
Man?
never written.
What happened? Everyone start speaking, so you are not able to.
We're discussing about.
Okay, fine. Okay, I think my screen stopped somewhere in between. Okay, so everyone clear till this point?
Yes.
Okay, so we have created this property. Now how to use this property? I will go to listener, so go to global element, so you can see property we can find here. Okay, go to edit option. Instead of this, now what I will use, I want to use that property. So what will be syntax? Dollar, then curly bracket. So hierarchy start from http dot listener dot host.
Is it mandatory to have listener?
No, it's not mandatory, but we should maintain all the hierarchy since we will use requester also. So inside HTTP we will have listener also, requester also. So that's why better to manage proper hierarchy. HTTP listener dot host HTTP listener dot port. Fine. Now okay, I missed one thing. Dollar symbol should be there, dollar dot dollar and then curly bracket host and port. Okay, so we configured this thing. Now go to message flow, and here we will use dollar path. Okay, so we created host, port and path, everything done. Now we have here 6 property file, 6 YAML file. So which YAML file this listener will take this property value from which file, we need to define that. Okay, so for that purpose what we need to do, inside global inside global element we'll select this create option, then inside global configuration you will select this configuration property, and then you will select that particular file, which file you want to use. So I want to use local YAML. Here also we need to follow some other thing that I will explain later on. Okay, so till this point what we did in HTTP listener, instead of using this hard-coded value, I am reading all the value from this local property file, local YAML file, and where from which local means from which property file I will take value, so we need to define here. Okay, again this one is also hard-coded, so we need to find some way so that whenever our code will move to particular environment, automatically instead of local YAML, if I will deploy on SIT environment, this will change to sit.yaml. If I will deploy on pre-prod environment, then automatically it will change to ppe.yaml. So that part I will explain later. For now, keep it here only. Okay, now one more thing. So whatever connector and configuration, whatever you are defining here, we should not keep inside this file. Okay, so what I will do, I will copy these 2 connector detail, these 2 configuration or properties, and I will create one more XML mule configuration file, and I will keep all the connector configuration there. Okay, so go to XML, copy these 2, HTTP listener and this one configuration property. I will delete from here, and I will create one more file inside global. Name of that file will be configuration, or we can keep name as a config.xml. Okay, click on finish. So whatever connector configuration, whatever you will do here. Okay, so I already copied, so I will paste here. Okay, and let me save this. So now you can see here we have only code, we don't have global element here. So all the global elements we have here, or instead of config.xml we should use global element. So I will go to refactor, rename, global element .xml. Okay, so till this point we did few setups, like we have created one mule application, we have created required folders, we have created HTTP listener, to expose our API as a REST API, and inside this listener we are using dynamic property, means we are using property to get this value at runtime. Okay, so what we will do, we will just deploy till this point and we'll see at least deployment is successful or not. Okay, let it deploy. Meanwhile, what I will do, I will go to this terminal and I will check again git version, git status. So see, here we have one file, modified file, and we have untracked file. This file are untracked till this point. Okay, so we need to commit. So what I will do, I will git add and then start. So what I will do, I will add. Okay, so it's failing, so let me see. Okay, flow is not completed. So the connect this flow, actually this one is I think you will get in certification or some mule training website. In your mule flow, okay, there must be one mule component inside this processor. Okay, inside this process flow, otherwise you will get this error. So what I will do,
At least we have to add the logger.
yes, so what I will do, I will add one logger. I will not configure anything, but we will add multiple logger. So I will show you what is the use of logger here. Now we will see actual means use of logger and all. Okay, so I added this logger, and now okay, if I will save, then it will start automatic deployment. Yeah, I stopped, so I'm deploying again. We'll select this word wrap option to see. Yeah. So deployment successful. So till this point, whatever I have developed, so what I will do, I will add this and then git commit. I will commit this. Okay, okay, after git commit I should use git commit, and then I need -m, and then I need to write some statement what commit we are doing. So it's a
Added logger.
created basic application with travel on tip, whatever you want. So later on you will able to identify what change you have committed. Okay, so you can see what all file committed here, config dev YAML, so all YAML file, then this implementation 2-3 implementation file, so total 10 file changed. Okay, now I need to write git push. Till this point, after commit also you will not able to see here. Okay, so we have only this much of file, but when I want, okay, so you will all new files will come inside source folder. So inside source main, inside resource we have created multiple folder. So once I will push here, git push. Okay, now you can see once I will refresh this, see we have created this config folder. Inside this we have created, so everything now synced with my this git repository, whatever I have created. So till this point we just created one skeleton of our project. Okay, and then we will start working on development. So in this way you have to break your file and folder so that later on it will be very easy to manage everything. Okay, okay, fine.